This is Beyond the Bench with Nick Morgasen and Nick Fodera. A look at sports and pop culture from beyond common sense. The show that constantly goes off the rails and might never get back on. When you don't belong, you're a bench warmer. On this show, there's no riding the bench. This is Beyond the Bench on the Empty the Bench Podcast Network. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Welcome back to Beyond the Bench, Episode 7. Nick Fodera, Nick Morgasen. It's the show with Nicks.
And with the spirit of it being a week or so before Thanksgiving, you're going to hear these two turkeys talk about stuff.
Oh my God! Is it true that we basically call Thanksgiving the holiday of being fat?
Well, I kind of missed that boat. So yeah, I'm holiday. What holiday are you talking about? I'm fat 365 days a year. Twice on Sundays.
By the way, follow the show on social media, on Twitter at Beyond the Bench 1. Follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/BeyondTheBench1. Follow us on the Empty the Bench Podcast Network at ETB Network. All right. So, first of all, Nick, how was your week?
So, I've been staring at my computer for the last 10 hours, and I don't know what's going to crack up first, my mind or my perception of reality.
My perception of reality cracked up years ago. But we have a lot to get into, so let's not waste any time. And since I felt like blowing up Nick's brain to a million pieces right on story number 1, the IOC walks back transgender and intersex athlete policy, but passes the buck on ensuring inclusion.
Now, essentially, if you guys don't know, the IOC was very, how shall I say, bafflingly restrictive upon letting transgender and intersex athletes play in, like, if a trans man was playing in the men's events and the trans women were playing in the women's events and vice versa. It's basically the Caster Semenya rule, where Caster Semenya was biologically born a woman and then decided to come out as a man, have the gender reassignment surgery, and they told him no. And I don't understand why. So this was a big shitting deal for a couple of. In fact, I think this policy's been in for a couple of years now, right?
Well, it goes back to 2015. So it says after a 2+ year consultation process, the IOC moved away from a 2015 guideline that required transgender women to lower their testosterone levels if they hope to compete alongside other women. So I'm assuming that goes both ways, that you have to watch your testosterone level. By the way, does anyone think that's a little bit insulting?
To what?
You're telling people to check their testosterone levels?
Like they know how?
I don't know.
I'm sure they passed this with speaking to 0 accredited doctors, because any doctor that specializes in this stuff is going, don't do that, please.
Well, there's a quote here. It says on Tuesday, IOC officials, your favorite group, the IOC, up there with the CDC.
No, it's up there with the NFL or FIFA with the athletic institutions that really need to be brought down a peg.
I'm going to go back to the joke I made about the NFL. No fucks, loser. But there's a quote here that says, from IOC officials, they admitted that there was, quote, no scientific consensus on how testosterone affects performance across all sports, and that the quote role of testosterone in creating unfair advantage is unclear.
Which any doctor could have told you, but then you just decided, your brain just decided to go and just make up. You know what does science mean anymore? Hey, 2 + 2 = fish. It doesn't matter.
It reminds me
our own rules. Who's gonna stop us?
That reminds me of that Fairly Odd Parents. But hey, wait, who was it? Hey, Hawking, 2 + 2 isn't 5. It's 6. 6.
That was Crocker.
No. But I'm saying that was when they had Stephen Hawking playing.
Oh yeah.
2 + 2 is indeed 5. Wait, 5? 5? Am I learning new math here?
You learn things you never thought you were going to and Beyond the Bench. But still, I mean, they only went so far in repealing this stuff.
You know what? How about we just let everybody compete? How about that? Can we just let everybody compete and just leave everybody alone? How about that?
Yeah, well, considering the last couple of Olympics have been kind of a letdown in terms of actual competitiveness, there have been stories. It's just been, and who would it hurt? Who would it hurt if you let trans athletes compete?
But wait a minute,
Would it hurt anybody?
It says here they made 3 admissions months after Laurel Hubbard, a New Zealand weightlifter who suppressed her testosterone, became the first openly transgender athlete to compete at the Olympics, and after multiple runners were barred from races in Tokyo by testosterone-based rules governing the eligibility of athletes with differences in sex development.
Because the science doesn't matter to them. The science doesn't matter to anybody. But when has the IOC ever really been on the right side of anything?
I can't think of very much.
I'll correct you on that one. They've never been on that.
No, that's what I mean. No, that's what I mean. I'm saying I can't think of anything. Like that, they're not very smart people. How about that?
No, they're not. No, they're not smart people, and they're very easily led, and they're very well. I mean, they got a greed streak a mile long that can make even FIFA's going, hey, maybe you want to ease up on the brakes a little bit.
Ease up.
The player is in jail. That's how you know.
Well, soccer's a whole different issue. If you want to talk about FIFA.
But still, of course, they kicked the can down the road and not actually adopting any of the, officially adopting any of these stances, right?
Wait, you mean the metaphorical can?
The metaphorical can, the metaphorical foot, everything is in metaphors this week.
So what's next? Is this going to become like a big game of Trivial Pursuit?
I don't know. Knowing them, they'll probably add that as an Olympic sport.
But speaking of Trivial Pursuit, let's talk about LeVar Burton. And LeVar Burton is returning to TV, but wait, not for Jeopardy, but for Trivial Pursuit.
So, hell hath no fury like an ex-Star Trek cast member scorned. And it is, considering what's gone on over the past couple of months with Jeopardy, I bet you they're really regretting not hiring LeVar Burton right now, right? You had to friggin' call Ken Jennings up off the bench to host episodes, even when he told you he didn't want to.
Well, first of all, LeVar, can we just admit LeVar was not good in his testing?
Good. I disagree. He was very good.
He was too nervous.
Wouldn't you be? They didn't even give him a chance. Everybody else they gave 2 weeks. Aaron Rodgers got 2 weeks, and we found out earlier this week that he's a fucking moron.
Well, Aaron Rodgers has got way more issues than just football now.
They only gave him 1 week. They only did it because people on Twitter were begging them to do it.
Well, there was a whole petition, 250,000 signatures, but
which again, it would behoove you to say, you know what? If this is the way the wind is blowing, then maybe we should do it. But
but he even admitted, he said that his wife said he was trying too hard on set.
If you had given him another week, I think he could have thrown into it.
I think the other problem is, like, he was trying to be like too excited on the Jeopardy. So Jeopardy is not meant to be like your typical game show, like where you sound the alarms and the buzzers, and it's intellectual property, like intellectual gaming, like just
to a certain extent. I mean, I think it's more about reflexes than you think it is.
Right, but I'm saying is you have to be able to read. That's a big thing on Jeopardy. You have to be able to read the clues. You have to, and don't get me wrong, he's a very intelligent man in every single way. Don't get me wrong, but to me, it seemed like he just was not comfortable on the set.
We'll agree to disagree, but now we'll get a Trivial Pursuit. Now, God knows if this is going to work out, but at least, I mean, a good host does not a good game show make.
Well, here's the issue. So Trivial Pursuit, if I'm sure you've played Trivial Pursuit hundreds of times as a kid, like I have.
Hundreds of times. Got my ass kicked hundreds of times, too.
Trivial Pursuit on the TV version is going to be hard. It's going to take a long time to get an episode down to like 30 minutes or whatever it has to be.
Unless they're creating a modified version of the game.
And like, are they going to make it like where you're moving around a game board, like where you have to get the color? If you get the color right, then you move up to that color. Is that what it's going to be? Or that's the interesting thing. I'm wondering. I don't know. It's being picked up by a TV network called Entertainment One. I've never really heard of them, but
I have heard of them.
Do you know anything about them?
Not much, but they're only carried by a few cable networks.
Well, Hasbro, obviously, which has created most of these games, trivia games, contest games. I think they're involved. Hasbro's partnered with E1 to bring the game back to television. I don't know. I love Trivial Pursuit. I love
Trivial Pursuit, but I'd rather be playing Trivial Pursuit rather than watching other people play Trivial Pursuit.
Yeah, that's like, I hate to say this, but like watching people play Trivial Pursuit is like watching paint dry. So, I want Levar to succeed in anything that he does. He deserves to succeed. It's just that Jeopardy was not the right place.
He needs something worthy of his talents. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
You can make that point. You can make a decent point out of that.
I feel like if they didn't ignore him the first time around when they made the list, that was Jeopardy's mistake. They should have put him on the list of people on the original list before they went back to add.
But unfortunately, we're people that are making people that are making decisions are just not smart.
Well, the same morons who tried to take Mike Richards as a new permanent host and now is out the door doing nothing. What does that tell you?
Exactly.
I mean, don't get me wrong. He probably walked away with a pretty hefty sum of money after walking out the door. But I don't know. We'll see what happens. It'll be interesting to see if Levar actually does well on television, or if he disappears like a witch on a broomstick.
We will see.
But speaking of witches on broomsticks, Harry Potter, the Return to Hogwarts special is returning. Well, I shouldn't say returning. They're making a special on HBO Max. Now, my question is this based off like what they just did recently with Friends with that special?
Yes, and well, let me see if I can make you feel old.
Uh-oh.
It's been 20 years, right? Since the first one came out, right?
Holy crap, what? 20 years. I do feel old.
And you know that, right?
Yes.
People who are our age are exactly the kind of targeted demographic that these content executives at that HBO, all these entertainment companies, they want our dollars, and they think, and if they can, if J.K. Rowling, cash cow, can keep it rolling, they'll find a way to make it happen. Now, of course, this isn't scripted, by the way. This program is just a friends reunion, just getting everybody in the same room together for the first time in 10 years.
So it's Daniel Radcliffe, Rupert Grint, and Emma Watson all back on the same couch,
including most of the original cast. Well, the ones that are alive.
It says filmmaker.
No disrespect to Alan Rickman and Richard Harris.
Right, and filmmaker Chris Columbus and other cast members from all 8 Harry Potter films.
So they haven't announced what the dollar figures are for getting them to appear, but
Oh, it's going to be millions.
I
It's going
had
to
to
be.
imagine it's in the 8-9 figure range.
It's going to be millions. Let's not even kid. It's going to be
You are not
millions.
going. You are not going to get them out of bed to go do another Harry Potter unless you back up the Brinks truck full of money.
Well, it's not doing another Harry Potter. It's doing the reunion we're talking about.
Even doing the reunion.
No,
even
I'm
doing the
agreeing with
reunion.
you. I'm agreeing.
I'm willing to wager that there's a lot of baggage connected to this. The three of them would rather leave behind.
Well, Daniel Radcliffe has a whole nother acting career going on right
He does have
now.
a whole nother acting career, and I'm sure him and Rupert Grint and Emma Watson would like you to stop thinking about them as I'm not just Harry Potter, you know.
Well, what do you think people did with Jennifer Aniston and Courtney Cox? Like everyone thought they were just on
but
Friends.
At a certain point, they just hit a certain age where the okay, you know what? This could make me a lot. This could make you know what? They secured the bag, so you know what? I can't fault them for that.
The one thing I hope, and I really hope like they don't do it like the Friends special where they relived every fucking moment of Friends, every behind the scenes. Like it's enough. It's a lot. We get it. Did I learn some things that I never thought I've seen before? Absolutely. And those I enjoyed. But how many times do we have to relive the same old moments of a show that's been off the air for what, 10 years now?
Well, yeah, well, you should take it up with HBO Max because that's still one of the most popular programs that they have.
I
Right?
love it. I'm a Friends fan here and forever. But what was that? A 2-hour special? Like it was long.
Because they wouldn't do it unless they knew people would come out there to see it, and they knew they'd have an audience.
All right, but true. But do you
and you can't tell me you're not going to have people our age that are going to show up on New Year's Day, subscribe to HBO Max just to see this, and then desubscribe.
By the way, they picked the worst day. They picked the worst day to release this thing.
New Year's Day, because nobody's gonna be doing it. They're either gonna be hungover or it's still working.
Why don't you put it out on January 4th when most things restart?
I mean, I'm no program director, nor do I pretend to be one on TV, but still.
No, but just speaking from experience, when I was at my former employment in radio, whenever we went through the holidays, the rule of thumb for radio to restart was January 4th. And the reason it was January 4th was because most people wanted the couple of days off after New Year's Day. Then to recover. And that became an industry standard in radio, at least, that things restarted January 4th.
And they were using taped programming until then.
It was either tape programming or fill-in hosts. But January 4th became the standard.
And if you think that this isn't good, isn't just some elaborate test program to see if they can actually get the three of them back to do another movie, for them to do a Cursed Child adaptation, you're fucking dreaming. Because I guarantee you, Warner Brothers is looking at that and saying, we're gonna get our own Force Awakens. We're going to get our own Star Wars Legacy sequel out there, because I guarantee you they are salivating at the bit for the day when the three of them say, you know what? If you pay me enough money, I'll come back.
Well, here's the thing. J.K. Rowling probably never has to work again, to be quite honest.
No, she never has to work again. Of course, she'll keep making those Fantastic Beasts movies nobody likes.
Well, actually, there's a piece of this story. It's funny you bring that up, actually. So the special is also going to air on TBS and Cartoon Network in spring of 2022, ahead of the Warner Brothers Pictures theatrical debut of Fantastic Beasts: The Secrets of Dumbledore.
So, I'm telling you, this is a way for them to test to see if people still care about Harry Potter and show up when they do a Legacy sequel.
Wait, there's one person who's not scheduled to appear in the special. J.K. Rowling.
Well, of course, because if it's funny, we started out this episode talking about people that don't like trans people for some strange reason, and now we end up talking about another one.
No, but don't you find that a little apropos that the person who pretty much started this whole thing won't appear?
Well, she did it to herself. All you had to do was say nothing. All you had to do was say nothing.
Wait, do you think?
And nobody would have been any the wiser.
Wait, let me get this straight. You think she's not coming on because of that, or not scheduled because of that?
Oh, I'd imagine that they probably told her, look, Joanne, just stay as far away from me, far away from this as you can. You'll still be getting paid. It's just we need you to not be visible right now.
Oh, it says it right here. Criticized for anti-trans comments. Okay, now it makes sense.
All she had to do was say nothing. You let down generations of kids, trans kids even, who grew up loving this shit, and just you crushed it. You crushed it. But you know what? It never really meant that much to me. So no skin off my ass.
I mean, I wasn't, and I'm going to get tomatoes and eggs thrown at me for this next statement, but I was not a big Harry Potter fan, actually.
Neither was I. I mean, I liked the movies. I've seen them all.
By the way, you couldn't get me to open up one of those large books. I watched the movies.
My brother's read the books. I have not.
My brother and I are opposite. My brother read all the books. I've pretty much watched, for the most part, all the movies.
But you couldn't. Maybe it's because I was a little. Let's see. I was 11 when the movie came out. So
damn! Wait, the first one?
Yeah. Yeah, I was 11 when the first movie came out. 10 years old actually.
Damn.
Because it was before my birthday.
Wait, 20 years ago. I would have been 8 years old when the first one came out.
So it was a little bit. My tastes were kind of evolving past that a little bit. And it doesn't. Harry Potter doesn't mean that much to me as Star Wars or Marvel or even something like Halo might. But you know what? That's just me. I recognize the influence, and I recognize that there are millions of people that for them this is their Star Wars.
Right, but you know what? J.K. Rowling could have just shut her fucking mouth, and this never.
Again, all you had to do was just sit back on your giant pile of money, which I'd imagine is probably, if you stacked it up high enough, you could probably blot out the fucking sun. All you had to do was just sit back on your pile of money and keep your mouth shut.
This is like the Bruce Springsteen effect.
What do you mean?
Where he won't keep his politics out of the public limelight.
Yeah, but he's not going around saying, I don't like trans people. I don't get it.
No, but like he's been criticized heavily because he won't stop with his political, like when people are here to see a concert and he's spewing politics.
Then again, people have been doing that for 40 years. So
The Who?
Yeah, well, The Who was not really political in that same kind of sense, but still.
No, but like I'm tired of I feel like I see a Bruce Springsteen story like every other week where he says something completely stupid and idiotic, and then
again, he's from the tri-state area. They're going to give him press coverage until the day he keels.
He rejected the street naming, remember?
Yeah.
And wasn't he doing a podcast with Obama or something?
Yeah. I think it was just a limited series, but
I mean, He keeps getting all these opportunities with boatloads of money somehow, and he doesn't get canceled. I don't get it.
Are you jealous?
No, I can't. I love his music, but I can't stand his politics.
It doesn't matter much to me because he's been doing that for 40 years, so there really is no difference to me.
I mean, I can't remember the name of the show. When I was at National Community College, we did a lot of specialty shows in college radio. We had a Bruce Springsteen show. And it was Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band. It was both. So that's how I got to love Bruce Springsteen music. But at one point when I was there and I would hear all that news circulating for his politics, I'd be like, fuck this. I can't take this anymore.
Look, if you're from New Jersey and you're of a certain age, Bruce Springsteen is your God, Jesus, and Holy Spirit, all rolled into one. Me, however, I'm from Long Island, so I worship at the altar of Billy Joel.
Yes. Now, that one I can get on board with.
We're getting a little bit off topic here, so let's see if we can...
I have to say one thing. Did you ever see... Oh, wait. Have you been to Madison Square Garden for a Billy Joel concert?
No.
Oh man.
Oh, I can imagine it's a lot of fun, but you know what? I'm not made of money here.
Well, we did it one time, because you have to experience it once. But the problem is that place, it felt like Madison Square Garden jumped off the ground and flew in midair during his concert.
Billy Joel is God around these parts.
I mean, sometimes he doesn't make the most financially swift decisions, and that's why he has to keep coming back out of retirement and performing.
Well, when you're paying alimony to multiple people, then you know, you got some fucking problems.
Well, you know the history that one of back in the day, his financial advisor took his money, right?
Yeah.
So someone's got to tell him to find the right financial people. You know what? He's better off spending it on crypto than having someone steal it.
Speaking of that,
well, we'll get to that. We'll get to that in a minute, but because I want to save that for towards the end. But let's talk about something that Nick hates talking about: COVID. So, COVID protocols. Now, a study has been done, and COVID protocols are adding 5% to the production costs for film and TV productions.
So everything that you've seen, and we've had some stories over the past ever since the beginning of the outbreak, that this or that actor refuses to get vaccinated or tested positive, shutting down production for a couple of weeks. It happened to the Batman when they were filming in Glasgow, I think.
Yeah.
No, they're filming in London.
Anything that was internationally based had issues with COVID.
In Liverpool, and it happened at Shang-Chi when they're filming in Australia.
They had an Amazon show in Egypt where the main actor got COVID.
And it happened to Black Panther recently, the Black Panther sequel.
We're seeing outbreak cases. Even with people getting COVID, we're seeing outbreak cases.
Which, again, would you rather take the 5% more in the budget, or would you rather take the potentially catastrophic hit if your production has to shut down or you have to recast?
Actually, the sad part is some of the production companies are willing to take the gamble.
And that's the fucked up part about it, because in Hollywood, I don't know if you realize this, but time literally is money.
Right.
Time literally is money. You pay to get more of it, and you can never get enough of it.
It says here the study is the first to precisely quantify the cost of COVID compliance, including COVID testing and distancing and isolation measures. Producers have previously given anecdotal figures ranging from 10 to 15%.
Because I can guarantee you, Hollywood wasn't caring about this stuff until Tom Cruise went viral about yelling at the Mission Impossible crew when he was filming that movie.
Well, because they got COVID.
Again, the man is insane, but sometimes he makes a good point.
It says the new data coming in, a progress report issued Tuesday on the California Film and TV Tax Credit. It uses production budgets submitted by applicants for the state credit. The report finds that the big budget feature films larger than $20 million spend between 5 to 6.5% of their budgets on COVID compliance.
Which, again, would you rather have the COVID protocols be followed and get the movie out on time? Or would you rather shut the production down?
Listen to this one. About 40% of those costs go to labor, COVID safety officers, testers, drivers, location assistants, and medical personnel. The remaining 60% goes to materials, which includes outside testing vendors and stipends for quarantining, as well as things like masks, face shields, and sanitation materials.
Again, I would rather the money go towards this than paying some producer's salary I've never actually heard of and is not actually on set.
But this is interesting, too. It says the major Hollywood unions issued extensive back-to-work guidelines in June 2020 and later reached an agreement with the studios on COVID safety practices. Those rules have been repeatedly extended, though they were relaxed slightly in July. Why are you relaxing COVID conditions? Why?
This is before Delta and before we realized we'd be in this outbreak forever.
Okay, I hate to say this to people, and for people who are tired of hearing about it, too bad. I don't give a fuck. 22 states, including where we are right now in New York, The numbers are back up.
I know.
I hate to say it, but if we have to be the two honest people in this world, we will, because that's what we do.
At a certain point, I'm just sick and tired of having to talk about it. It just refuses to segment itself from the things that we talk about, whether it's on our pop culture podcast or on our sports podcast, which, by the way, you should listen to. Make sure you listen to Empty the Bench. But still, this is ultimately, I think this is the lesson to learn. This is the cosmic punishment for those where you will never escape COVID. You will never escape.
I mean, I wasn't going to bring it up.
Maybe I'm just being cynical.
I wasn't going to bring it up, but Karen Rodgers. Yes, I said Karen Rodgers. Do I really have to spark that can of worms again?
No, please don't. Please don't. Please don't talk about it. I'm done. Please stop it.
Well, Aaron Rodgers, Ben Roethlisberger, I don't know, people that are non-athletes. Go down the list. People don't care. You know why they don't care? Because they're big names. And what do big names do? They break the rules. I mean, the best answer I can give is, fine, do whatever you want. But if you get COVID, that's on you.
You really need to go to the next subject before steam starts coming out of my ears.
But is that wrong? Like, if you're going to make a dumb decision, then it's on you if you get COVID.
Yes, it's on you. Personal responsibility, which just seems like people are just done. They're done with taking personal responsibility. It's a YP, not an MP.
Like, at this point, like, if you hate being controlled, you hate being controlled, and you don't want to.
And it's not about control when you literally could endanger the lives of people around you.
No, but I'm saying if you hate being controlled by COVID, then go do your part. Go get a vaccine.
Go get vaccinated. Go get your booster. Wear a mask.
The one thing I'll honestly say, and this is not, I'm a little concerned about the COVID booster just because I've seen a lot of people getting sick, but I still recommend people getting it for sure.
Getting sick from reacting to the shot?
Yeah, like the booster.
That doesn't mean much. That usually is just the immune system being working like it should.
I don't know. It makes me nervous, but I still would recommend people getting it for sure.
Yes, I would too. I'm getting mine this weekend.
I mean, the scary thing is I was at my grandfather's assisted living facility. I go the whole week. And I was talking because I got to know the front desk people well. And I remember last time when we were going through the first time when they shut down, they barely let us walk in. We literally had to wait at the door outside, and they had to let us in. We had to push a button. They had to let us in. And now they're talking about possibly going back to that when the winter comes. And you know what? I don't remember where it was, but it was somewhere here on Long Island, like where a nursing home had an outbreak case and it like reportedly killed like 80 senior citizens.
Jesus Christ.
And it was all because of one outbreak case.
Breakthrough case.
Breakthrough case. And just so if people don't understand, breakthrough case means you got the vaccine and you still got COVID.
All that means is you didn't get sick. You didn't get very sick from it.
And it wasn't detrimental.
From it.
It wasn't detrimental. Yeah,
it wasn't that. It wasn't that serious.
That's why we're saying get the vaccine. It doesn't mean you won't die because you don't know what the virus will do to you.
I mean, it decreases the odds of dying, which is all I need.
Right. Like, I don't know. I'm just tired of politics. I'm tired of people making it a political game. Just like, life is not political. Can we just put it that way? Life is not meant to be political.
These things are not meant to be politics.
No, but what I should have said is people's lives being in danger shouldn't be political.
Exactly.
Like, that's the dumbest argument I've heard yet. Well, I'm not going to take it because blah, 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 and his politics this, and...
It's my right as an American.
Yeah, okay, you're right as an American. You know what my right is as an American? To cancel your ass for not taking the vaccine.
Yeah, tell you to fuck off.
But speaking of being restricted, we'll move on before both of our heads boil. Speaking of being restricted, let's talk about Britney Spears post-conservatorship. Now, she finally came out. The big news happened, and she seems much happier.
Yeah, she does seem much happier. I mean, this is something that I really didn't think was going to happen, where we have had ourselves a bit of a because people of a certain age don't realize just how much of a tabloid joke, or how much they made her into a joke back in the day, because it was bad, and
I mean,
most of it wasn't deserved.
I mean, you and I are old enough to know her when she was a pop star and like major popular.
Absolutely, I remember that. I remember watching TRL, and because my brother was a big fan, and just being amazed at the fact that she could just have that kind of pull week after week, month after month, year after year. I'd never seen anything like it.
Do you know where she got her start?
The Mickey Mouse Club.
Do you know with who? There's a big famous group of people.
Yeah, with Justin Timberlake. Most of NSYNC, as a matter of fact.
And Christina Aguilera.
And Christina. Yeah, they all know each other. But still, they turned her into a joke because they... Look, the tabloid media just hates women at this point.
They turned her into being helpless.
Yeah, they turned her into being helpless, and they made her seem like a kook.
I mean, did you realize that she was in conservatorship for 13 years?
13 years.
Did
there was people who were just... It's almost like waking up from a bad hangover and going, ugh.
Actually, I'll go one...
We did that would that happen to Britney Spears? Come on.
I'll go one harsher. It's like waking up out of a coma.
Yeah, it is. And realizing that we collective, of course, or the forces that be, whether you would like to call it, the patriarchy, if you want to call it, toxic masculinity, whichever you'd like to call it, the powers that be had conspired to keep her in her round little box. Square little box, I should say.
Don't get me wrong. She spiraled out for a period of time. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, but for 13 years?
No, I'm not saying for that. But she went through a period in her life where she was dealing with a lot of shit.
And this is something that I think it's brought attention to a wider issue about conservatorships and how they can really be used to screw people over.
And her father,
the elderly and the disabled.
Her father's a fucking asshole, too.
And apparently she went all scorched earth on her parents and her sister, too.
Yeah, because the father kept fighting the decision in court. Well, you're not taking this away from me. What does she need it for anymore?
It's not yours to take. She earned it.
What is this, slave labor? Like...
Yeah, why do you think Macaulay Culkin, didn't he get emancipated from his parents?
He had a lot of issues. He supposedly had drug issues and a lot of other...
Which again, he got clean.
Right.
Whatever it was that was with her. Of course, I'm using a gross oversimplification here. Whatever it was that was the problem has passed. She deserves to make her own money on her own time and not have to have people with her constantly grubby little hands.
And also, like, she was being forced to perform also under the conservatorship also.
Which, yeah, that is just a bad look, whichever way you slice it.
And like she's taking care of her kids. She met a new guy. I think they got engaged. It seems like she's much happier now.
Yeah, she's doing well for herself. It really does seem like a wrong was righted. And I know those feelings are kind of hard to come by, especially in recent years. But when they do come, savor them.
And the weird part is, so they're saying in the story, Spears had said in court that she'd been forced to use birth control, but that obviously won't be the case any longer.
Thank God. But still, props to her.
I mean, so now she's making her own medical decisions as well. Speaking of Spears, will also no longer have to take anything she doesn't want to take, and that includes the antidepressant lithium, which I didn't even know that was a thing. Did you?
Which, believe me, I know. If you're taking lithium, that means that again, there is a high propensity for people to put you on lithium even though you don't need it.
Wait a minute. This says that the singer said in a June hearing that it made her feel drunk.
That's what lithium does. It's essentially, I mean, it's essentially of course, I'm not a pharmacologist, but essentially, it's heavy. It's a heavy duty sedative.
I didn't get to watch the documentary though on Spears that they had put out a couple months ago. I heard
I
it was
didn't
really
either,
good.
but you know what? I know it because I lived it. I was there.
I mean, apparently, and they said that she's driving, which she wasn't allowed to do. She was going out to restaurants. She's enjoying life again. You know what?
Good for her.
I'm glad. Like
Good for her.
it's meant. It's about time her father can go fucking. Okay, I'm not going to complete that sentence because that'll get us in trouble. Anyway, I don't know. He's a fucking idiot. He really is.
Hey, I don't need to say anything about him. The court already did. The court didn't already.
I don't know. I'm glad that the conservatorship was removed and she's allowed to have a normal life. And that's it. Hopefully, I hope she performs again, and hopefully it'll be freely, like in a freer, less stressful way.
Yeah, she gets to keep the money that she makes.
But now, like you were starting to say before, speaking of being removed, Staples Center renamed. And I think Nick his mind almost melted or blew up, one of the two. So Staples Center will now be renamed Crypto.com Arena in a new 20-year deal with the in partnership.
Let's see how good your memory is, Mr. Morgasen. Do you remember the stadium that the Astros play at, Minute Maid Park? Do you remember what it used to be called?
Oh, no. Oh,
Come on. I know you're close. Come on.
Wasn't the Astrodome, was it?
It was, but it had a name before that.
Oh, am I not old enough? It's an older name than that even?
The name Enron ring a bell?
Oh, Enron! Right.
Enron Field.
Yes.
One of the biggest investment scams in American history. And they had to take the name away because the brand had become so toxic. So, in this situation, okay, how many crypto people am I going to piss off by saying this? But I just don't get it. I just don't get it. That's the nicest thing I could say about cryptocurrency.
I guess I'm the crypto nerd.
I just don't, but I don't get it. I don't get it.
I hate to say this, or not hate to say this. It's truthful. Cryptocurrency is kind of replacing paper money.
And I don't understand why. I don't understand why. I don't understand how. I don't know why it works and what it even is.
It's digital currency. You no longer have to carry it around. You carry it around on your phone. You carry it around on a device. So you don't have to worry about like losing money or having to have a certain amount of money. It's like having a virtual bank in your pocket.
So it's monopoly money.
Well, I don't know. I don't know about that, but
but still, you would think that the Staples, first of all, this is named after the company Staples, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
You would think Crypto.com would have paid a lot more than that to rename the Staples Center.
Well, actually, they probably paid more. That's the only reason why they got the naming rights.
I'm the kind of person who's sick and tired of corporate sponsorships and stadiums.
Well, all right, genius. I'll give you a few examples of this naming rights thing. What was Citi Field before it was Citi Field?
Shea Stadium.
Okay, and if you look at Citi Field, it's a complete sellout now of Citibank and corporate sponsors all over the place.
You're right. I don't like corporate sponsorships. I would like stadiums to be named after either the people that built it or an important person in the community.
The only one,
Fenway Park, Yankee Stadium, Camden Yards.
That's what I was going to say. So Yankee
Wrigley
Stadium.
Field. I know Wrigley's a bubblegum, but a man named Wrigley.
Yes, right.
So. Yeah, the Wrigley family.
Right. So I was going to say, can you imagine like
Dodger Stadium?
Right. But I was going to say, when you look at Yankee Stadium, and you look at the Yankees, people say, wow, the Yankees made a lot of money. They're outselling everybody. And people always wonder, Can you imagine if the Yankees sold naming rights to their stadium, how much money they would get? I don't care. I don't care.
I would hate it.
I don't care. I've gone to Yankee Stadium, the old one and the new one, for years.
I have too. And
If I have,
believe me, I would not want it to be called NFT Stadium.
oh God, no.
I do not want to see non-fungible sports.
I mean, what's next? Are the Marlins going to call it Bumblefuck Arena or something?
No, but the Uber Arena.
There actually is an Uber something. I don't know. Well, what's the name of the Islanders one? It's now UBS Arena
UBS
or whatever.
Arena.
And what is UBS? I don't even know what that is.
I've driven past that thing a couple of times. Apparently, UBS is. You know what?
Isn't that a disease?
No.
I thought UBS stood for a disease of some sort, didn't it?
No, that's IBS.
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
No, that's an investment bank. UBS is an investment bank.
My bad.
IBS is irritable bowel syndrome.
Jesus. Oh, where is it?
IBS Arena, yes. It's so terrible, it'll give you the runs.
Damn it. Where is it? I can't find it. There it is. I'm going to flush that opinion down the drain.
Still, I don't like it. I don't like it, and I guarantee you it makes me sound like an old fogey. I know that, but still, it's just me. I want creative names. I don't need. I mean, wasn't there a stadium that had pets.com?
Pets? You talking about Petco?
No, not Petco, because Petco Park is not even called that anymore.
That's right. But you know what's so weird? I still think I accidentally call it Petco Park from time to time.
I do too.
Because it was like that for so many years.
It was like that for so many years.
Oh, the one that I can't stand. The Oakland Coliseum for the Athletics. It's now called O.co or...
Which I don't even know what the fuck that even
Actually,
is.
I don't even think it's called O.co anymore. I think someone else bought it.
It's something financial or... Oh, God.
I'm looking it up. But, another one that we would have confusion with if it was Progressive Field, Cleveland.
Which, I mean, for those of you who don't know, it used to be called, was it? No, not Candlestick.
No, that first of all, that was the Giants. But yeah.
Oh, what was it?
What, the Indians? The Indians?
Yeah, the Indians.
Well, not the Indians anymore. Sorry. Guardians.
Again, the team formerly known as the Indians.
I don't know. I got to find that out. I can't remember at the moment. I'm trying to look up the Oakland Athletics. Oh, it's called Ring Central Coliseum now in Oakland. I mean, really? Ring Central Coliseum? I don't know. I'm tired of the getting creative with the stadium naming rights.
Turner Field.
That's Atlanta.
Turner Field would have been great. But Turner Field was a good name.
Now it's called SunTrust, right? Yes,
It was Jacobs Field.
That's it.
It was Jacobs Field in '94.
SunTrust Park is the Braves. I mean, I'm just tired of it. Oh, we have to talk about the other thing that people are not talking about with the Staples Center. You know what people said when Staples Center leaves officially December 25th, what it's taking with it? It's taking Kobe Bryant's career and officially ending it.
Oh, yeah. Now that's just depressing.
No, but you know what? I agree. And Vanessa said it. Vanessa, his now widow, said, "Wait a minute, you're changing Staples Center. That's it. You're basically taking the last trace of Kobe Bryant away."
And there it goes.
There it is, flying into the distance.
But to a cryptocurrency company, really? Not even to Pepsi or Coca-Cola, but or Harley fucking Davidson, but crypto company?
You know why? Because a lot of the NBA players are into NFTs. Remember those stupid NFT moments that they're making out of the basketball moments or whatever?
Yeah, they're into NFTs, non-flushable turds.
That was good.
I got that from Twitter. That's not my joke, unfortunately.
Oh.
Well, leaving that idiocy behind, what else we got on the docket?
All right, one more story before we get to let's see. Actually, you know what? Forget that. We're going to go straight to Going Beyond. So, Nick, I'm ready to split your head open into a million pieces.
You've been doing that all show. Stop it.
Well, it's time to do it again. So, let's see. Where do we want to start? Do you want to learn new vocabulary first, or do you want to hear more about the idiocy of the Travis Scott concert?
You know what? Explain. Let's do a vocabulary lesson.
Okay. So, TikTok has led to a lot of horrifying things. Would you agree?
Much in the same way that Vine did, yeah. But there's some fun stuff there.
No, but I'm saying there's some really horrifying trends that people do. Like a trend starts, and then everyone has to do it.
Like when that guy put the ice cream in the toilet.
Or the milk crate challenge.
Oh yeah, the milk crate challenge, or
where people died.
The kitchen counter nachos that were just disgusting.
No, but people died from the milk crate challenge. Some of them.
Yeah, I know. So believe me, it's a breeding ground of stupidity.
All right, so now it's time for Professor Morgasen's vocabulary lesson. So, if I said to you the word hogging, would you know what that is?
Snort like a pig?
No, it's not that type of hogging. So, hogging is a horrifying sex competition that I should just stop right there, to be quite honest, that some fraternities engage in, and people are finally talking about it. So, hey, Nick, you want to take a guess at what the definition of hogging is?
Let me guess. If it's a frat guy going to a bar and picking up the heaviest woman there and having sex with them and never calling again.
Pretty much. So it's a competition usually between a group of men that involves going to a bar or a frat house. And participants go with the direct intention of hooking up with the fattest girl at the party. And the guy who begs the fattest girl wins.
And of course, this is awful misogynistic behavior. TikTok, I mean, this is standard boilerplate stuff for your average dumbass frat guy.
Right.
But TikTok gave it a name. And I don't think we needed a name.
Yeah, oh my God, people are posting pictures of it too. What the fuck?
Oh, please, don't.
No, not pictures of the action. I'm saying they're posting pictures of the women.
Even then, that's horrible and humiliating.
I'm saying that's horrible.
Yeah. How would you like it if it was you? How about I barge in on you when you're taking a dump?
God, oh God. Oh, you had to give everybody that image. They could be eating while watching
that.
How
people take pictures of you when you're bare ass naked?
God. I don't know how to explain this, but
how would you like it, asshole?
I'm
sorry, but people are just frat guys are just terrible. A lot of them are just terrible. I know a lot of frat guys. I was friends with them in undergrad, but and the frat guys that I hung out with were not like this. But
did they survive?
I mean, that's an open question. Yes with a but. No, yes is the short answer. No is the long answer.
It's ridiculous. And by the way, I don't know if you knew this. Did you know TikTok was in a class action lawsuit going on right now?
Yeah.
Like for $90+ million.
Which whoever's suing them is never going to win.
No, TikTok agreed to settle because they knew they were in for a fight.
Yeah, they're going to settle, but they wouldn't win.
But the problem is with the millions upon millions of people, everyone's only going to get like $2-3.
So yeah.
So what's even the point? $90 million to them is probably nothing.
But to see this misogynistic bullshit, this misogynistic fatphobic bullshit and they're not going to do anything about it.
But it's just another one of those dumb trends. Like when you see that
again, it's just frat guys being frat guys, and frat guys are terrible.
But it's like doing the dumb TikTok dances, or
I mean, those are harmless. Those maybe seem stupid to us because we're old, but those are harmless. This actually does harm.
No, but I had a conversation with someone the other day about social media and how it's been changing, and because I've done social media for radio shows before and having to study all this stuff. Someone said to me, if you could snap your fingers and magically become a TikTok star, would you do it?
It depends how much money is involved in it.
Well, my answer was no.
And
the reason
you jumped the gun too early there, pal.
No. The reason I wouldn't want to be a TikTok star is because of all the pressures and all the bullshit you have to put up with as to raise the bar. Because that's what being a TikTok star is. You're raising the bar constantly.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying. So you want to deal with that?
God.
I mean, look at all these, and I'm not insulting women when I say this, but there are some women who are TikTok stars out there who don't get a second to breathe.
Yeah, how should I put this? It takes over your life.
Some of them it has. Who was the story we covered on Empty the Bench? The woman who faked the tweet about the WWE or being the sideline reporter for UFC. She was a TikTok star.
I don't remember.
But I'm sure it's going to come up afterwards. But she lied. A bunch of people got deceived by it. And it caused social media to make a star. I guarantee you she did it on purpose. That's why being a TikTok star is stupid.
We're old.
Get off my lawn.
Get off our lawns. Seriously, just put me in a retirement home. Give me a walker. Tell me about the early bird special. Just show me where the clicker is.
Put your teeth in a cup.
Put my teeth in a cup. Just let me shit in a bag and do my crossword puzzles. I'm good to go.
Play the Curb music.
I already can't remember where I am, so I'm already halfway there.
Jesus. All right, one more story. We'll get off TikTok. Travis Scott.
So this story just keeps getting worse and worse, doesn't it?
This is like I don't even know how to. I don't know. What's the best way to describe this?
A clusterfuck?
Yeah, that's one way of describing it, I guess.
Clusterfuck and a tragedy sandwich?
Pretty much. So the number has officially come out on the amount of money combined in these lawsuits. $750 million.
And he and the event planning company that put this on should be forced to pay every single goddamn cent of it.
Well, here's the problem. So Travis Scott obviously being at the top of the list. Drake, I don't know why Apple's getting sued. People are suing Apple. Live Nation, even though it says on the back of the Live Nation tickets that they're not responsible for certain actions that take place at a concert. I love that. They
always got to cover their asses.
I love that one, by the way, where these venues think that just because you spent your money, they're not responsible for what happens to you inside the walls.
By the way, there is a non-zero chance that you may be trampled to death in some unrelated incident, related incident that we are totally responsible for. However, you cannot sue us. Goodbye.
Wait. One of our arch enemies from Empty the Bench is the lawyer on this case.
Oh no.
Oh
no. Oh no, Busby again.
The suit filed by Houston attorney Tony Busby.
Fuck.
So just so people understand, so they're not confused, Tony Busby first came up on our other show, Empty the Bench, because he's the lawyer for going to be former Texans quarterback Deshaun Watson.
And he really, really likes to talk shit.
So it says
he really likes to self-aggrandize.
Yeah, so it says the suit filed by Houston attorney Tony Busby is the first of others to come and places the blame on Travis and concert organizers for negligence in failing to properly plan the concert, train security personnel, and host a safe event. All right.
He's absolutely right.
I'll give him that one.
Yeah, he's absolutely right. He may be an ambulance chaser, but he's absolutely right.
It says among the plaintiffs is the family of Axel Acosta, a 21-year-old who was allegedly crushed by quote, an incited, unruly, out-of-control crowd with such force that he could no longer breathe.
Look, this is not the first time that Travis Scott has incited the crowd like this. This is not the first time that people have been trampled at a concert because of inadequate safety protocols and security. Look, why are we still debating this?
We're not debating
this. But kids died. Preteens.
A 9-year-old died.
They went to a concert and died, and nobody seems to want to be able to take responsibility.
Can I ask a question? Dumb question.
They'll have to make them take responsibility.
Wait, can I ask a dumb question though? Why was a 9-year-old at a Travis Scott concert?
Whether he was there, what the fuck does it matter?
No. I'm not taking away from the fact that he's not here anymore. I'm just saying, I don't know. I guess that's more of the moral person.
Yeah, I think you're finger wagging at the wrong thing there.
No. I'm just making the point that you had all types of people at this concert. All types. They don't discriminate, this crowd.
Yeah, they didn't.
I mean, so Busby also said, no amount of money will ever make these plaintiffs whole. No amount of money can restore human life. But the damages sought in this case attempts to fix, help, or make up for the harms and losses suffered by these plaintiffs. Nothing more and nothing less.
It's the very fucking least you people can do.
You know they're going to fight this.
It's pay out the nose, pay out the ears, pay out the mouth, pay out the ass, too.
You know that Travis Scott's probably going to fight this, right?
He's absolutely going to fight this because he probably doesn't think he did anything wrong.
Oh, I missed this part. Travis and Live Nation offered refunds almost immediately to concert goers.
Well, if anything, he should be on the people's side, saying, "What you people didn't put adequate security like I wanted."
I hate to say,
he would be on their side.
But wait a minute, whoop-de-fucking-do! You gave refunds. That doesn't.
Congratulations! I got $200 back. Can you give me my sister back? No, you can't.
Can you give me my 9-year-old kid back?
Because my family got trampled at a concert.
I mean, can you make that comparison one more time, like you did in last episode? What you compared this to years ago?
Yeah, the something very similar to this happened to the Who in '79.
But they were trying to storm out of a door, though,
and they were trying to get out of the building, but still lax security protocols, shitty event planning. And it combined to create this clusterfuck.
I mean, I don't know if this is officially the updated number, but this story says 10 people have officially died.
Yeah, last I checked,
including that 9-year-old boy that we all saw in the pictures.
Let's hope to God it doesn't rise.
I mean, you kind of have to know it's Travis Scott.
You do.
What? First of all, and I said this last week, and I don't care if I get crucified for it, I would never show up to a concert of his.
It doesn't matter whether you would or not, though.
No, but I'm saying, because you have to be smart and realize what his concerts do.
But there should be a reasonable expectation that there are safety protocols and to make sure that the crowd doesn't get trampled, right?
Absolutely.
I would walk into any outdoor venue thinking that was the case.
By the way, it says sources...
The thought process should be there has to be somebody looking out for this, right?
You would hope.
Yeah, you would ask yourself that question, right? And the answer that you would give would usually be, yes, there are safety protocols. As it turns out, there were. They just weren't being followed.
Right. And it says, and we'll finish on this, where it says, the sources close to Travis have maintained he didn't realize the severity of what was happening in the crowd while he performed. Are you kidding?
Oh yeah. The entire crowd, part of the crowd, just folded like an accordion. But there's no way to know what. I mean, they look like ants from out there. How could I know? How could I ever have known?
I mean, again.
Meanwhile, we've got audience recordings of people actually stopping the show at different shows and to say, "Hey, guys, cool it."
I think I told you last week a kid tried to climb up on the camera stand and say, like, "Hello, help!" Like,
yeah. Again, lack safety protocols, shitty planning, and just dumb fuckery.
I think that's enough for one episode.
Yeah.
All right, so we made it to the end of this episode. Our next episode will actually be on Thanksgiving, or the day after Thanksgiving, I should say. And I guess we'll come back to you once Thanksgiving is over. And hopefully we're not too fat from eating.
Too late for that.
By the way,
yeah,
I'm not offending fat people. Let's make that very clear. You can eat as much as you want on Thanksgiving.
In fact, I encourage you to.
And enjoy the football, too, because that's usually the best football. But when you have the Lions and the Cowboys playing, it's kind of a free-for-all.
Yeah, still, it's something to watch, right?
So for episode 7 for Nick Fodera, I'm Nick Morgasen. When we come back next week, we officially barrel into the holiday season. We have a lot to discuss. All the dumb things that are going to happen through the holiday season, because I'm sure we're going to have plenty of that.
And it's going to be amazing.
And just wait. We have plenty to discuss. So for Nick Fodera, I'm Nick Morgasen. This has been Beyond the Bench. We'll see you next week, everybody.
Have a good turkey, turkeys. See you back on the bench.